Okay, what we have here is a 1-second exposure of Messier 43. And you can ignore this huge luminous cloud to the south. It's now the 11th of February, a Wednesday evening at 6:28. I'm going to begin the NGC 1700 series in the next few minutes, and this is our kickoff view. This, however, is only a 1-second exposure time. I'm going to go ahead and pause, and we're going to shoot for 5 and allow the histogram to align itself. Here we have that aforementioned 5-second view of Messier 43 and components of NGC 1973, 5 and 7, which is located right here. Anyway, moving on to NGC 1700. Okay, here we have a view of NGC 1700 right in the middle of the field. It's a galaxy in Eridanus. We also have a walker going by. This is probably an orbiting satellite. When they move much slower, that typically means it's the mount tracking, I do believe, but that's my speculation. NGC 1700 is a galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 11.2. Let's push it up, get a look at that at a higher magnification. It's an elliptical class 1, 3 by 1.8 arc minutes, 173 million light years distant. Makes it larger than the Messier 31, probably somewhere around 180,000 light years in diameter. We're at RA 456.56 with a declination of minus 451.54. Our kickoff NGC 1700 to 1749 view. My oh my, this is a beautiful sky. Here we're having a view of NGC 1701. It's a galaxy in Calum. Now I don't even know what Calum means. I'll have to look that up. It's magnitude 12.8, 1.2 by 0.9 arc minutes, spiral with lowercase b, 257 million light years distant. RA is 455.51, declination of minus 29 degrees, 53 minutes and 1 second. It's about as far south as we can go. NGC 1720 is a 13th magnitude galaxy in Eridanus. It does have a neighbor. Let's see if we can figure out which one it is. This one is magnitude 13, 1.7 by 1.3 arc minutes, spiral with a bar and a lowercase ab, 188 million light years distant. It's at right ascension 459.20 with a declination of minus 751.32. Now this looks edge on, but it looks like there may be some curl. Let's go ahead and pursue that a little bit by going up and getting both views. Yes, it is much broader than originally perceived. 1.7 by 1.3, I would say this is our candidate for NGC 1720. NGC 1721, guess what it is? It's located in Eridanus. We're seeing several galaxies here. This one seems to be annular. But I've noticed oftentimes when they appear that way, the spiral arms do not completely ring the galaxy, and you can confirm that on theskylive.com. This one is NGC 1721, Galaxy Eridanus, magnitude 13, 2.2 by 1.1 arc minute, lenticular spiral, 197 million light years distant. So this is about 110,000 light years in diameter. I'm really enjoying this galaxy group. It's at right ascension 459.17 with a declination of minus 1107.08. 1723 is magnitude 12 with 3.3 by 2 arc minutes. I like that. Spiral with a bar and a ring. Okay. 168 million light years distant puts this larger than Messier 31. And we're at right ascension 459.25 with a declination of minus 1058.51. Let's see if we can't frame all of these galaxies right here. So that's our entire group of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 galaxies. Let's see where we go next. Okay, NGC 1726 was not a part of that group. Let's see if we can pick it out. Its magnitude 11.7, 2.1 by 1.5 arc minutes. Yeah, I think that's our better candidate. Lenticular spiral, 178 million light years distant, puts it about 120,000 light years in diameter. There's a faint neighbor off to here. Right ascension is 459.41 with a declination of minus 745.18. Let's go ahead and frame these up. NGC 1729. It's probably our galaxy right there. Ooh, interesting. Magnitude 13, 1.7 by 1.4 arc minutes. And of course, it's got a rather smallish, faintish core, so it's a spiral with lowercase c. 163 million light years distant, gives it a size of maybe 100,000 light years in diameter. RA is 5 hours, 15 seconds. But we'll probably drop back down in the 4s again. Declination is minus 321.09. I think it warrants a little bit of extra magnification to bring it out. And we're now looking for NGC 1738. And it's got some interesting features associated with it, whether line of sight or embroiled. Its magnitude 12.9, 1.3 by 0.7 arc minute, spire with a bar, lowercase bc, 174 million light years distant, maybe 70,000 light years in diameter. I suspect this is a pair of galaxies. We're at RA 5 hours, 1 minute, 46 seconds with a declination of minus 1809.29. See if we can pick it apart a little bit. Yeah, that does look like a pair of galaxies. Okay, NGC 1746 I've imaged previously. It's this nice, large, open cluster in Taurus, magnitude 6.1, 42 arc minutes in diameter. So we're talking about from about here to about there. There seems to be nebulosity associated with it. Or that, or I'm getting some reflected light. There are about 20 stars. The brightest are magnitude 8, so it's basically calling these members of the cluster. It's a class 3-1, and 3 has to do with the spread, how condensed it is, and 1 has to do with how bright its members are. NGC 1746, it's at right ascension 503.50 with a declination of plus 23 degrees, 46 minutes, and 12 seconds. Let's bump it up just a little bit more. And bail. NGC 1752. I pressed enter. Let's see if it goes to get me the data. Anyway, no doubt it's a galaxy, and indeed it is. In Eridanus, magnitude 12.4, and a lovely edgy on it is. 2.6 by 0.8 arc minutes gives it about a 3-to-1 aspect ratio. Spire with a bar, lowercase c, although it's got a kind of a star-like core. We are really getting peppered with satellites this evening. This one's going pretty much north-south. 158 million light years distant puts it about 150,000 light years in diameter. Messier 31 size. RA is 502.09 with a declination of minus 8, 1428. NGC 1762 is a galaxy in Orion, so you can tell as we head down towards Orion, we're probably not quite into the Milky Way band as yet. This galaxy's magnitude 12.6, 1.7 by 1.1 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase c. Now that core, I can see it here, but there's a star lining up with it too, so don't be deceived by that stellar presence. As I said, 12.6 magnitude, 1.7 by 1.1, spiral lowercase c, 208 million light years distant, probably means it's about 110,000 light years in diameter. RA is 503.36 with a declination of 1 degree, 34 minutes, and 23 seconds. NGC 1184 is likely to be this galaxy, and I'll tell you why. It's a galaxy in... Ooh, I couldn't have gone to 1184. Give me a moment here. Okay, where I wanted to go was NGC 1784. And of course, I just fumble-fingered the data. Galaxy in Lepus, magnitude 11.7. Maybe I haven't quite captured it yet. This is 12 stacks of the last one. That's a nice view. Okay, NGC 1184. Galaxy in Lepus, magnitude 11.7, 4.1 by 2.6 arc minutes in size. Spiral with a bar and a lowercase c. 102 million light years distant means It's about a little bit smaller than Messier 31. It is at right ascension 5 hours, 5 minutes, and 26 seconds with a declination of minus 11:52:18. Here's that 150x view, and backing off to the beauty shot right there. It's at 105x for NGC 1784. Okay, NGC 1788 is not a galaxy. It is a reflective type nebula, 5 by 3 arc minutes in size, in Orion, 1,300 light years distant, so a little closer than the 1,600 we associate with many of the nebulosities in the Sword of Orion and elsewhere. We're at right ascension 506:53. with a declination of minus 3 degrees, 20 minutes, and 27 seconds. And I will remind folks that I am not using a nebula filter in El Quattro. I am using a light pollution suppression filter, which accounts for any coloration, for instance, in the moon or Jupiter, because I'm too lazy to remove it. Okay, so that's our view of nebula NGC 1788 in Orion. Let's go up to our 105x view and bail. NGC 1797 is a galaxy in Eridanus, magnitude 15. 1.2 by 0.8 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase a, so it's a fairly bright core, 199 million light years distant. So it's probably about 65 to 70,000 light years in diameter. I'm going to center up these two galaxies. You pick them. RA is 5 hours, 7 minutes, 44 seconds with a declination of minus 8 degrees, 1 minute, 9 seconds. I recommend you go to adventuresindeepspace.com where Steve Gottlieb will give you a nice description. Keep in mind, this is north and this is south, this is west and this is east, because he will often refer to the cardinal directions in describing the relationships between very similar studies. I'm going to push this one up to our 100% e-zoom, not because it gives good views, but because we are exposing all the pixels and we get the brightest views of our various studies. Now I am left with the task of figuring out what we shall exit on this evening. We are a mere almost 12 minutes into this video, largely because, as I explained before, most of the studies in the NGC catalog on this right ascension, which is roughly 5 hours in, are south of minus 30 degrees, and all we had was about a dozen, maybe a little more, studies to cover in the NGC 1750 to 1799 series. Okay, because the sky is so nice tonight, even though I had a little difficulty with focusing, getting images to stack early on, I thought we would revisit a globular cluster, Messier 79. So if we do some zoomage, once again to 105x, here we go. There's the second stack, really darken things up a bit. Now I can really push the magnification. I've had it up above 1,000%, but it gets seriously ugly above 100%. So with that, I am going to call a carpe noctem, but you know what? I may go to the other imaging setup and then have another look at Jupiter now that it's much higher in the sky. So in terms of the NGC 1750 to 1799 series and Messier 79, I'm going to say carpe noctem.